Let's see. The things that you need to do. You need to be healthy. 1. It means eating right, and it also means defending yourself from demons. In order to defend yourself from demons, you need to 1. Be healthy. You need to 2. Raise your vibration. You need to 3. Stay away from things that lower your own vibration. If you look on the television, and you can see many people who have been influenced by these demons, these jinns, so-called, or there's many names for them. In the West, if you research, they call them ghouls. You can easily be possessed by a demon. The food that they put in your culture of the West, yeah, there's drinkable water and everyone has a house and that type of thing. But they put fluoride in the water. They put fluoride in toothpaste. You got fluoride on your skin. You got chemicals on your skin. You're smoking. You're eating all the chemicals inside the food. There's so many goddamn different chemicals and whatnot. Aunt Jemima, for instance. Aunt Jemima syrup was made because someone inside a bar who was drunk saw a performer who was Caucasian dressed and performing in all black paint, and it was a man, mind you, a guy dressed in all black paint, and that inspired the woman Aunt Jemima, and she wasn't even ever a real person. The person Aunt Jemima never existed. I'm trying to get to the point of chemicals. For one, sugar is a chemical. Why is sugar a chemical? Because it has no health benefits for you. That should be known by everyone on the planet, and it is at this moment, except if you can't speak English. Your body needs sugar. You get the sugar from the fruits. Your body's made of water, so naturally you digest using water. It's like with meat. If you drink somebody else's blood, even if you boil it, it's not going to digest very well. It's not going to sit well in your system, ever. Whereas if you drink water or you eat fruits, your body digests it very easily, and it's what's meant for your body initially, primarily, even before you ate meat. So if you're not in tune with your own vegetable self, if you're not in tune with your real own fruit self, then you're still premature. In the Aunt Jemima, if you look in the ingredients, it says hexametaphosphine. Now, out of all the ingredients, there's sugar, there's glucose, there's fructose, and hexametaphosphine. That's probably the most negative thing you can do. And then you got your butter that you put in the pancakes when you actually make the pancakes. The butter alone apparently changes the color of your pineal gland to the wrong color. And the color that your pineal gland is supposed to be is the color that affects and sparks the use and usage of your third eye. Your third eye is the same as the eye on the American dollar bill, the same as the eye that is the self, the same that is the eye that is on the squiggly Egyptian eye, the same as the pine cones. Your pineal gland is the shape of a pine cone, and it's right in the middle of your brain, and it's the most important part of your brain. All of these things are gonna... Do you see what I'm getting at? So you got the pancakes, then you got the wheat inside the pancakes. The wheat has yeast inside the pancakes, which is an active ingredient that feeds the bacteria inside your body that you get from eating meat and eating live organisms that aren't meant for you to be eaten because they are not still alive while you eat them, whereas fruits and stuff like that are still alive when you eat them. Stuff like beans and stuff like that are the natural form of flour that you put inside the pancake. And the yeast feeds the bacteria. So that's just an example. So stay healthy. Next, you have to find your own meditation to raise your vibration up. So the second thing I'm going to get to is what everybody says is be successful. They say fuck. You're not going to listen to me, are you? You know what? Just get out. When people say be successful, they think it's all have money, have a family, and that type of thing. When I say be successful, what I mean is not to take things out of context. To be successful in all categories of love in your life, of all the categories that you love in your life. Which categories do you love in your life, and to be successful in them? And it's imminent for you to do so in this life or the next life, or in some life that you're going to have. It's imminent for you to be successful in the things that you love doing, and the things that you love. Love each other and love everyone else. And the goal of peace on this earth is to become non-violent. Now your soul may have chosen in this life to become violent. Meat makes you violent. So when you drink the blood and you eat meat, you're really drinking blood. Don't befool yourself about it. You're drinking an animal's blood, and You can just imagine drinking a cup of blood, and it's the same effect as eating meat. You can make 12 steaks, squeeze the blood out from them into a shot glass and drink that blood, and it's the same energy that you're putting into your body. I know this because I know from my own experience. I didn't have a choice. I was the meatiest person that you ever seen, and then I had to stop eating meat because I got E. coli virus and parasites in my stomach, and meat only makes that bacteria worse. And I found that as soon as I stopped eating meat, eating myself, as soon as I stopped eating myself, I started to adjust into the original state of a human being. Different than this modified mutant state of people who eat meat, which are the white people who moved away from the hot climates, where the original people were black people, brown people, light brown people, and goldish people, where they moved to cold climates where they felt that they had to eat meat to survive, and felt a certain affiliation with those cold climates because it was a new experience for them that they had never experienced before, as in living in the hot climates, whereas also in their past lives they've lived in cold climates before, when they were animals that lived in the cold climates, if there were animals that lived in the cold climates, what have you, snow leopards, snow anything, snow fucking dinosaurs, I don't know, polar bears, you freaking walrus. And so they felt a certain affiliation with that, got identified with it, built an ego of it, and an ego of eating meat and everything. And now that violence has destroyed everything that was once there, and they have made a new society, which is the society that you may live in now, if you live in this time that I'm saying this in. So, if you're going to eat something that's living, you might as well eat something that's actually alive. Eating meat is like black magic because you inhale that animal soul. You have no clue where that animal soul has come from. A demon might have infiltrated that animal soul and you have eaten it. And I, from my own experience, know that if you eat an animal, you ingest that animal soul. I know because out of sheer something, I felt compelled to try. So anyone from the East probably has had a pet and eaten their own pet. But if you're in tune with your own self, which is your natural self, your high vibrating self, then you love that animal naturally, truly, and truthfully, as a pet and a friend, as your brother and your sister. So when you eat your brothers and your sisters on the earth as animals, as mammals, as human beings, and just so have you, the nature of everyone eating anything on the earth is eating animals, so we're eating ourselves as we are mammals. So naturally you're eating apes, you're eating humans, you're being cannibals, you're eating ourselves. Whereas when we evolved off water into the land as mice and stuff like that, into birds, into all the mammals, that's what we eat. You eat cows, you eat chickens, you eat lambs, you eat everything that is like that. And then your fish is even closer to your natural self, But you can't eat fish without eating all the bones and stuff. It's tough to eat. But the thing is, you can eat it. But you get what I'm saying. Anyways, I'm moving on to success. Success is inside yourself. It has nothing to do with any moral views by anyone for any reason on any planet for any race in any time in any space anywhere in any dimension in any way. This is the teaching of Zen. Real success is the inner. Your inner being is success. Nothing to do with the outer. Nothing to do with objectional success. Whereas you look at your kids when you have them as objects, and you begin to treat them as objects as you lose your initial real love, the love that was connected with meditation, that the love that you give to your child to nourish them, care for them, and to give yourself up for the Most High. So giving yourself up for the Most High is humility. And through this humility, you start to dive into the realms of meditation, which is where I'm trying to get you to. In every single act that you can ever think of, you've had to give up your lower self, which is your mind in this place, and your personality in this place, and to give it up for the higher God, the higher you, the real you, which is all and everything. I'm sure you heard that statement before, as many people have stated and many people have said. There are many mystics and many people on this earth that are declassified and underappreciated. For instance, many pastors, many priests, many Muslim priests, and many homeless people, many mystics on the road, many people that you look over and you call them geeks or losers or anything that you can think of. This is why I'm saying just to be your own very self, as high as a being as you can be, as your own very self in your time and in your stature, as you, as the expression of you, as the tree that is you, is really what you should be doing. Not to be taken out of context. Every single time I mention success, I have to mention the context, because the ego and arrogance inside you wants to sway itself away from what I'm really saying and the real message of what I'm saying, and you want to feel equal. The ego's role in this life is to feel equal to things so that it can stay bound to this earth. Otherwise, everyone would be floating everywhere, and the earth and the universe wouldn't be doing its real mission, which is experiencing itself. Now, it doesn't matter which level or grade you are. I had this thought the other day that in different dimensions, one in infinite possibilities, there's someone who is an exact twin of you, who through the lowest minute measurement is a little bit different than your face, all the way stretching out until it's somebody else's face. So in those dimensions, you are less than a grain of rice. Don't even think of yourself as a speck of grain of rice. And even the highest people know of themselves as a speck of rice. Now you got humans or beings that are even more intelligent and bigger than the entire planet, so you think size plays a role. But when it comes to success, it's your inner being that counts, and your inner being is the vastness of this entire universe, and the physical has no play in this role. when it comes to success inside yourself, because all success has to do with yourself, and what you are on the inside attracts itself to itself. Now me, being me as myself, I attract strange possibilities to myself, being myself and expressing myself, and it's something that no one understands, which is still fine, but it's always my message, and it's the message of Zen, and it's been treated in many ways and in many deep forms. If you want to find and study something that's very hard to understand, which is the easiest fundamental thing that you know when you're a child, from 0 to 3, is the ideas of Zen. And then from the ideas of Zen, you can move on to the ideas in Taoism. You read the I Ching. So I want you to read books of Zen and then read the I Ching, and then you can realize what real success is, real moral values are. And moral values come second to your inner being, and your inner being is the inner state that you were in of bliss when you were a child, or when you're about to crash or have the best wedding of your lifetime, or at your first your birthday when you're about to blow the candles. The best moments of your life are the moments that you give yourself away for the higher, almighty, most high to step in and to give you a hand and to take over, almost to be like a puppet. It's humble to say that you'll let go of yourself for God, to be a puppet. But don't confuse it, because there is a sense of groundedness, of individuality. Actually, much, much, much more than if you were the personality. To tap into many things of yourself and your inner being, even to tap into your animality. It's very prosperous, very rewarding to get in tune with your higher, real, definite, deep, into the depths of the bowels of your being. It's frightening. It's the most frightening thing that you can ever do. So not to get out of context with success is to be successful. To look at your mind and control it enough so as not to sway away from what magnetic field you can create around yourself to pull that energy into your own life. I know from my experience deep realms of stepping away from your own inner being to experience and go against it, or to test it itself, which is the vastness and greatness and grandness of God. Praise Him and she, Almighty. I'm reminded of how I knew that I could move into a better place or a better state and stay there, but I chose not to, just to test this inner state and this inner being, to say, there is another way, and there obviously is another way, but the real deep and brave success is becoming humble to say and admit that you're a student not a master or anything like this. You're not a teacher yet. You're not a wise one yet. You're not one that guides them yet. You're still a disciple, a sannyasin, a bodhisattva, still a monk, training, still a student, learning, improving your own inner being. Every successful person that's ever been has been a seeker, a mystic in some way or some form. I don't give a damn about that book of secret, no, not the book of secrets, The Secret. I don't give a damn about the book The Secret. I know in the highest expressions, there's expressions that can rule it out. And I go with the Almighty. So the book of secrets is the real book of secrets. The real secret. The secret. And as for the I Ching, the second step of success is making the right decisions, being aware of your inner being, so that you don't falter and you don't take success, and you don't take enlightenment, which is the highest form of success, out of context, trying to test it with your ego or your arrogance, with your mind, with your personality, with your beliefs. Any belief or speck of personality or your own judgments against someone who is enlightened or who is in a higher vibration than you. Anything competitionary, stepping away from awareness of yourself in success, and it's just another second that you wasted not vibrating higher or trying to reach higher realms of being. Don't even fucking try to test it, enlightenment, or don't try to fucking say or think that you're meditating so you're gonna crash a car. I hate these fucking damn retards who are doing this type of thing or thinking this type of thing. Meditation should be in a quiet place by yourself. It's an experimentation, a science of the inner self, where you learn the depths and the realms of your being for yourself. And then when you realize your actual being, you're a true real person, and you understand the significance and you know it, then you can start meditating in other places where you're aware of your situation, so you can be aware of your actions, so you can be flowing like water, which is the I Ching's message, making the right choices in life, in success. Flowing with nature, not against it. Now, no matter what any nature flows, the mind can comment on it and make it ugly and rotten, which is okay. It's fine. Just keep flowing with it. Forget about that type of thing, but beware of it. When there is love, real, profound love, that type of thing doesn't happen. People don't mess with you. From my own experience, in any shape or form, for instance, lying. People's lying. Now, you take the context of lying into success. Being honest is a quicker route to success than lying is. Whereas in the media and every success book, they teach you that lying is the route to success, and I completely disagree, fully. Because real success is being able to look at a friggin' tree with clear, brisk eyes that can see nature and success as God's expression of itself as the physical in life as a human or as a being. I'm not against luxury. I'm not against jewelry. I'm not against colors, but they're limited. I'm against the people who wear clothes as their expression of the right now, of their feeling, because their feeling is inauthentic in itself as the personality. If you were to drink, just to think, I'm not telling you to really go out and drink, like I'm saying, don't take it out of context. Don't ever take success out of context, what success really is. You need to be in a room with nothing in it, with yourself, for you to realize what real success is. And then you can, in maturity, step into the marketplace. So just as a thought, if you were to drink and get drunk, your honest self would express itself as the mind, as the expression that is connected to your soul, more naturally, more confidently than you were if you were sober. So if you chose your clothing if you were drunk, it will actually be more in tune with the real expression of your actual being. Isn't that crazy? That's how low the mind is. The mind has a few functions, and the mind's really easy to understand. And understanding the mind is the beginning of real success and what success is. Because any success always has to deal with the mind. 1. Rationale. The mind likes to rationalize everything and anything it does or says and thinks. Number 2, commentary. The mind wants to comment on everything it sees around it. Even if it's just a little comment or a big comment or an hour-long lecture to itself or a whole year's worth of commentary on one single thing or experience. The mind's second function, mechanically, is commentary. It's really difficult to see something and not to comment on it. You can try yourself, or to do something using the mind, as the mind believing itself as the mind, and to make a rationalization for it, so that you can apparently stand on your 2 feet and support yourself as it. And one of its third functions is arrogance. To do anything in its possibility to remain arrogant. It's ugly, but it's true. And the fourth thing is to feel, compete with, and be equal to what it sees, what the mind sees, what's in front of the mind, or what's around you. That's why I say an empty room with just you and yourself is where you should meditate. Number 5, eating meat has a direct effect on the personality and the mind and the ego. The 5th function of the mechanism is entertainment. To entertain yourself using various forms of violence. The media, even if it's a saintly thing, is the various form of violence. Always has something to do with violence, pertaining to violence. On television you never see peace, loving, happiness. Yes, you might see a very serious priest or preacher, but you never just see everyone loving, partying, celebrating on television. Just a room with everyone celebrating, partying. Which is for some reason why I support people who eat and drink more than I support people who eat just meat. If you eat meat and drink, words, but I support them more than someone who just eats meat. I support someone who's vegetarian more than I support someone who eats meat and drinks. I support someone who's vegan more than I support someone who's vegetarian. The 6th function of the computer that is the mind, or the gadget that is the mind, is to trick and find any way that it can to keep you in confinement from your real self. So the 6th, ironically, function of the mind is to be the enemy of your soul. Your soul is vast, is space and blackness. Your mind is bright, always moving in your face till it dies, and it sets in the night like the sun.